Davison here. I've wanted to make this video for a while, but I didn't get around to it. Now, here are my first impressions about the Tria 4X hair removal laser. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is an at-home hair removal laser system. You can only use it on certain skin tones. It's only good for medium to fair tones, not black skin or very dark brown skin. And it's only good on hair that is brown to black. The laser only targets the pigments in the dark hairs. So, or rather the pigment in the dark hair. So anyhow, I bought this because I have hair on my body in places that I don't want anyone knowing about and I want gone permanently. And I have now used this 3 times, and there's 5 settings on the laser. So it goes from 1 to 5, 1 being an extremely low intensity that I feel like isn't effective at all, up to 5, which is, I believe, the effective dose of the laser. Before 4, honestly, it seems like you get very little result, but it's deceptive because this machine takes about 6 to 8 treatments to really start to work. In the instructions, it claims that it only takes 2 treatments to see a difference in hair growth, but now here's my first impressions. Okay, so I haven't really noticed any difference in the rate at which my hair grows back, except for possibly the really fine dark brown hair, but the thicker hairs, forget about it. They are nearly the same and they're growing back. It also says in North America to use the Tria 4X once every 2 weeks, but with my experience, that wouldn't be enough, and in Europe they recommend once a week, which is what I believe will work the best. It is painful. That's the other impression I wanted to give of this. Now, lower doses of like 3 and below, it really doesn't hurt that much. 3 starts to sting, but 3, 4, 5, you are burning the hair follicle. Don't think you're doing anything other than giving yourself a quite significant burn. So it stings when you do it enough, I find, at like 4 or 5 to go, ugh! Like when it hits a hair, ugh! And then redness and swelling develops around the hair follicle itself. But then you feel a burn for a good, I'd say, 2 hours after you do the treatment. So you have to plan the treatment so that, you know, it's probably not good to do it before bed because then you're in pain and it sort of keeps you up. It's not an unmanageable pain, but it's like a sunburn, like a, you know, a bad sunburn after a day at the beach. And another thing is that you can't pluck or wax while you're doing the treatment. You have to shave. So one of the things that I've had a hard time getting over is, like, I see hairs in certain places now and I can't pull them out, and shaving them doesn't really disguise them that much. So it's almost like a discouraging thing psychologically to have to live with hair in places where you don't want it while you're doing these treatments. But then, of course, the hope is that eventually the hairs will fall out. But I have to say that my first impression is that it is significantly more painful than you think. It does feel like a sunburn afterwards. It doesn't work below level 3. And I am the ideal candidate, by the way. Very pale, darker hair. Thicker hairs definitely take longer to treat, even though they're way, way, way more obvious. You would think that the laser would have an easier time because, bam, large area of dark hair, zap. You know, no, it doesn't. It's not fun, and it's very slow. Like, you have to, you know, you also have to kind of guess because you have to move, shoot the laser, say, like I'm doing my nipple hair. Not to say I'm not doing it, maybe I am. Shoot the laser, then move it a little bit, shoot again, and you kind of don't always know that you've shot the follicles you want to shoot. So, and you can't see where you've been, so it's kind of hard to manipulate on certain areas yourself. I haven't even tried on my legs. That thing on your legs, guaranteed for me, would take an hour or more per leg. So imagine you have to do that once a week for 3 months. Sounds like nothing, but it's significant, and then your whole legs will burn afterwards. So I am going to keep doing it. All the literature on the web says just like keep up the faith, keep going, and eventually stuff starts to fall out. But honestly, so far, I'm not impressed, and I really, really hope that this wasn't just a monumental torture device. So my name is Davison. I make videos here a lot, and I'm going to zap you. Hold on. Tick!
tick, tick.